Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda, and this is Gizmo.
We're the Village's Newcomers. It was a pretty typical week for us. Busy in a good way. Am I right?
Very busy. I went to about 3 or 4 exercise classes, so I am tired and sore today. Sorry.
Today we're going to show you that prices are up everywhere.
And better shots of a golf cart ejection.
Now, we showed that picture a couple weeks ago, but somebody sent us some really crystal clear photos, and I want to show those just to illustrate the importance of wearing that seatbelt. How does our water taste?
And what would you order for your very last meal? All that and more. Hit it, Wally.
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
We had a nice week. Like we said, we spent some time in Orlando. Got to go to some flag football games. 3 of our grandkids were playing flag football, and that's nice. You know, before we just had to hear about it on the phone, but now they live in Orlando, so we get to actually go. We're going to go again this week.
We are. It's fun to watch, especially the 4-year-old. Oh my gosh, he's all over the field, but he is a trooper out there.
Yeah. Some of you like to suggest things to us, and we love that. You know, we had shown you a couple of our shopping trips. We frequent Walmart most of the time, and sometimes we'll go to Publix when they have the buy one, get one. And we go to Winn-Dixie on occasion. But somebody said, why don't you try Aldi's? So we did, and we went through Aldi's, and it's nice. Not as many brand names as the other stores, and unfortunately the prices are creeping up there a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of hit and miss. Some things you're not going to find all the products you want at the bigger stores, but it's kind of a small scale. It's nice. I don't like carrying my groceries out one bit at a time.
You got to give them a quarter to use the cart, and then we got to the checkout, and they have no boxes, 0. So we've got 40 items, and you know you're like,
we're gonna have to bring our own bags.
No sacks, no nothing. Yeah, we know. We got gas. Gas is down a little bit, $3.12 a gallon. So we're happy to see that, and hope it continues to come down. And you know, we always advise you to wear your seatbelts in your golf carts, especially. We wear them in the car all the time.
All the time.
I don't feel right backing out of my driveway until I'm all buckled in. And she gets in and she gets up on her little booster seat. She got a booster seat in the car.
It's a pillow.
Well, I mean, it's
it does boost me, and it does help me to see.
I bought it. It's a booster seat. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can even take it in when you go to the restaurant.
I do.
So you don't have to use those little plastic things anymore where you sit down in.
I don't use those, Jerry.
But really, if you go to a booth in a restaurant, she's like this sometimes.
You just shovel it right in. Don't have to go very far.
But we are big proponents. Please use your seatbelts. We showed you this wreck. I'm not going to show you the wreck again. But here are some still shots from it. And as you can see, this fella got quite a thrill ride. And he did not have a seatbelt on. Luckily, he was not injured badly. But please wear those seatbelts.
Oh, yeah.
Karen Donovan Rhodes sent us this picture on Facebook. We have a guest on our front porch here in Finney. We're told they won't remove him unless they're over 6 feet and aggressive. I'm not going out to measure it or to check his level of aggression. Ha ha, so I guess I'll have a new porch ornament. Look at that thing. Isn't that awesome? I've been wanting to see one so bad in our neighborhood, and in 4 years I've never seen one.
No.
We saw a dead one on Hillsborough Trail about a week ago.
Our neighbor found one in his yard that was that long, a baby.
Get a broom and whack it a couple times. It'll take off and go back where it came from.
I'll let you have that job.
But we did see a news report this past week.
Yes, we did.
That a dog was killed. Well, first of all, that dog was off leash, I believe, and you can't let animals roam free. Look at this guy. He wouldn't stand a chance with an alligator.
No.
But that alligator's laying down at the pond, you know, and a dog comes down. All that gator saw was, you know, T-bone steaks.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, we're sorry to hear that.
Very sad.
But they took that alligator away.
And how about some shout-outs?
As we do each week, we want to really thank these viewers that hit that little thanks button. It's under the videos. Hard to find on a phone, but if you have a laptop, you can find it easily. You can find it on a phone if you know what you're doing. But they've done that to contribute money to our equipment fund, and we appreciate that so much. We had catastrophic equipment failure this week.
Yes, we did. Oh.
On Thursday, you're going to see a fantastic show with 4 energetic young villagers. And we got them here, and we were set up to interview, and boom, my wireless microphone system was kaput. I had to buy a new system. So, I mean...
It was a little tense for a while.
Well, we got her done.
Yeah,
and we got a beautiful show coming up for you, and we'll talk about that later.
Yes.
But thank you. Your names are scrolling, and you're just such a help to us, and we appreciate it.
This picture is Lydia and Ken, and they're getting ready to do their lifestyle visit on October 2nd, and at the same time, they're having an open house back home in New Jersey.
Yeah, look at them. They're all dressed up in that picture. Welcome, Lydia and Ken. Phyllis and Norm, they're the 2 in the front. They moved here in February, and they recently hosted his brother and sister-in-law, Mark and Arlene. They said they visited each town square in one day and danced at all of them.
I don't see how they can do that. They go up there to Spanish Springs and dance for half an hour, and then, because the squares are open, 5 to 8? The
5 to 9.
Music.
They said they danced at least one dance at all of them.
Oh my
so
goodness.
that's pretty cool.
Hurry up, dance, and then get in the car.
You know, you
What
can
a
do
fun
that kind
day.
of thing here in the villages.
Yeah.
We have dear friends that played every executive course.
That happened during COVID, and that's the regret that I had during COVID. I wish we had done that too.
Well, there's over 40 of them.
I know.
And
but
some of them are Spanish Springs. That's a 45-minute cart ride just to go up there and play golf.
Some of them did golf during that time, and some of them visited all the pools during COVID. So I don't wish for COVID to come back, but I do want to try to do those challenges.
I hope you all like these shout-outs. We really enjoy meeting people, and when you send us these pictures, it's fun to see the faces behind the names of you kind people that comment, and we love that. So please send in your pictures, make them in landscape format, wider, and we'll get them on for you. Love to have those. And more questions. Send us in those good questions.
This is Angel and Ricky. They were here and stopped by on their way to Disney, and I think they maybe want to move here in the future. I hope they do.
Who wouldn't? Thanks for that picture. Now, that's a good example of a very low resolution picture. You can see it's a little blurry on the screen. Please send them in as big a file as you can possibly send, and that way we'll have more pixels to show everybody when they put it up on their big Samsung 80-inch TV. Art and Adrian, they just closed on their house in St. John's.
Wow.
We bumped into them at McDonald's. Super nice people.
Oh, yes.
And there they are in front of that board. And we welcome them to the villages.
Jeff and Sheila got here on September 24th for a lifestyle visit, and they're looking forward to some golfing and seeing all the sights in the villages.
Yeah, our recommendation is always get in that golf cart and go, go, go. Mm-hmm. Get lost if you can.
You will.
Paul Thorpe sent us this picture. Look at that thing. That's a beast. That big old truck is not going in that garage. He was a little bit sad. He said he's going to miss her.
Aww.
Yeah. Well, when you get a truck that big, you're either going to have to park it out in your driveway or
downsize.
Or downsize, yeah. You know, I very seldom need a pickup truck. And I'll be honest with you, 0 of our friends have a pickup truck. So luckily we have a handyman that I can talk into going and pick something up every now and then for us. But the trucks come in handy, and I miss my truck.
Yeah.
We had a Ford F-150, and I bought that new in 2002, and I sold it the week that we moved down here. Bill and Jean came down from Massachusetts on a lifestyle visit, and they ended up buying a home in DeLuna. She's mad because she was going to read this one, but I read it.
It had an L in front of it. L's for Linda, J
She
for
does
Mary.
that. I don't think it matters, you know. Who doesn't matter who. But here's a picture of them at their 45th high school reunion. Welcome.
And this is Vicki and Larry from Winchester, Virginia. I had to say that again. Winchester, Virginia. And they bought a condo on a golf course near the villages. I hope they like it as much as the villages.
Yeah, they say they look forward to a warmer climate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, some people want a condo.
Right.
If you have a condo, somebody else takes care of all that outdoor maintenance.
Yeah.
And you have some things like your roof. It's really not your responsibility. You know, a lot of exterior. Yeah. It's a good deal. Shout out to our friends Al and Sandy.
Yay, Alan Sandy.
Al and Sandy are snowbirds, no more.
No more.
They were back and forth between Wisconsin and Finney, and they have sold the home in Wisconsin, and they are down here, and they are great people, and we welcome you and hope to see a lot more of you.
We will. And now it's time, Viewer of the Week.
Viewer of the Week, each week we try to think who has been important or meaningful or someone that the community should get to know a little bit better. And this week we're highlighting the 4 people that we're going to have in next Thursday's video. These were the young villagers that I told you about. And here they are. You can see them there. That's Mac and Corey and Kimberlyn and Pat. And we would like to recognize them for being such nice people. They were so accommodating to us. And we've met them a couple of times now, and just wonderful people. And congratulations, you are our Viewers of the Week.
Not only that, they're first responders, aren't they, Jerry?
That's the best of all.
That is awesome.
Patrick and Kimberlyn are retired police officers. You know, and they are first responders, just like Mac in the picture there. He is a retired firefighter, and Corey
Is a nurse. Yeah.
a nurse.
So we really salute all 4 of you.
Yeah.
Oh, I also have another shout out. We got a cute little mug this week from Fred and Becca from Fairfield, Connecticut. Oh, it's back here. It's a Gizmo mug. We got to read this to you. It's kind of cute. Okay, can you read it, Jerry?
Roses are red, violets are blue. Thanks for the belly rubs and picking up my poo. Love, Gizmo. Thank you.
Is that not cute?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I have to do that every day. And we also want to shout out, too, for Ken and Cindy. They sent us some joke books.
Sent us 3 of them. And you know, he likes it. I've already read him this one, and he got a few jokes. He said he's going to use them.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
He appreciates that, and he says keep sending them.
And Roxy and Paul sent us a beautiful fall card with colorful leaves, things we don't see very often, so it was pretty. They're getting ready to be full-timers
Yeah,
here.
they're from California, and they're moving here full-time.
Yeah. And our first question from Scott. Does the water taste good in the villages? Do you need any type of water treatment or filtration? How about water softener?
Great question. The water tastes just fine to me,
Yeah.
not to her.
When we first got here, I did not like the taste. And for a month, I felt like, I don't know. I had a stomach ache for a while, and then I thought, well, it's just because I was moving all the tenseness of the whole thing. And then we decided we were going to go ahead and get the water filtration, and I love it.
Yeah, we bought it just like everybody else. We chose the Nova water filtration system. It's a local business, and we've been 100% happy with it.
Yeah.
When you get a water filter, you don't need the one that's in your refrigerator anymore. So we took that out, and the water tastes just fine. Tap water here in Florida, though, is different. You know, back in Indiana, you want a cold cup of water, you can just run it out of the tap. Here, if you want a warm cup of water, you can run it out of the tap.
Yeah.
Especially summertime.
Yeah.
The water's warm. But yeah, we're happy with it. We do not have a water softener.
No, we did that back in Indiana.
In Indiana, we had one, and you haul the salt bags down in the basement, and what a hassle that is.
That was crazy.
And here we don't have one and haven't really felt a need for it, although we do see a little mineral buildup on the faucets after 4 years. You know, I guess that happens just about anywhere. So, yeah, we're happy with the Nova system. People write us all the time, what do you recommend? That's the one we recommend because of the cost. I mean, the cost was less. It has 3 big filters, you can see, and we'll put a link to the Nova people in the description of the video today. How many golf carts are in the villages? Wow, what a question. Did you count? I lost count.
I don't know. I think I got to about 1,000. No, I don't know.
If you look at the census in 2020, it said there were 55,000 homes here. The vast, vast majority of those have a golf cart. And many, many of them, like us, have 2. So you're probably talking around 100,000 golf carts roaming the streets here. And I'll tell you what, since 2020, that's 2.5 years ago, We're up in homes. We're way beyond 55,000 now. I'll bet we're somewhere around 70,000 homes.
Probably.
The average would probably be 1.5 golf carts per home.
Yeah.
Guesstimate.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
This is from Herschel and Sue. 2 years and counting, they say. Are there banks in the villages? If so, did you transfer your checking and savings to them? First off, I know there are a lot of banks here. I kept thinking, wow, must be a lot of money here. No.
Why do you need so many banks? Every time there's construction, I'm hoping it's a KFC. It's a bank.
It's a bank.
Or a credit union. That's how to make money, people. Start your own bank, let me tell you.
So we did have our checking account. We had one from Indiana, and then we have one now here, and a savings account here.
We trusted the folks back home.
Yes.
We had a small bank, and the kind of bank where they knew who you were.
They knew our name.
And if you wrote too many checks, they'd say, "Oh, we'll take,"
No, that was our first month of marriage.
And we liked it. So when we moved down here, we kept that bank in Indiana, and we still have some money in there. But we went with the Citizens First Bank down here. That's a Villages bank, and there are many branches, probably 12 or more.
Oh, gosh.
And we have been transitioning over to that. We will pretty soon, I think, eliminate the bank in Indiana.
Right.
I can't read it. I don't know what it says.
Oh, okay. Yes, and better shots of a golf cart evacuation. Oops. Ejection.
We're terrible, man. We're just terrible.
I am just messed up. Let me start again. I was supposed to do that one. But how come that L don't pay?
I stepped in and did it. I did it. Pete writes, is fishing allowed in the villages? If so, are you allowed to keep the fish? Do you need a license? Pete, I love to fish.
And I love fish sandwiches.
And she used to love to fish until these alligators looked at her.
Kept chasing the bait. Yeah.
Yes, you can fish. You can't cross any private property to fish. You can't fish on any of the golf courses, but there are some places you can fish, and they've stocked a lot of those ponds.
Yeah.
Can you keep the fish? I've read what it says, and it says catch and release is highly suggested. So you probably could. In fact, a healthy fishery, you need to keep some fish. But believe me, I think the pelicans and the
wildlife that's their dinner.
the blue herons, I think
they're counting on those fish.
Yeah, they're eating some fish.
Right.
But you can fish. You shouldn't be keeping them. You should be putting them back, and you do need a license. But on that magical day, when you qualify for Medicare at 65, you also get a free fishing license.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a win-win on your 65th birthday.
There you go. Go fishing. This question is from Sherry in Bangles. And Bangles is a doxy doodle. Oh, I'd like to see that.
A doxy doodle.
Half.
You know it. You like a little poodle down the street, don't you?
And she asked, are there dog parks in the villages? Are they within walking distance? Do you utilize them? Well, they're not walking distance for us. We have to go in a golf cart. And there is one pretty close by, and we've taken Gizmo to it. The beginning, the first couple of years we did, and he'd go out there and just kind of sniff around the perimeter and not play with any of the dogs. So he's kind of a little antisocial. So we're gonna take him back.
It's a good 2 miles away. It's more than 2 miles away. I mean, that's too far for me to walk and then walk back. And I think there are 7 dog parks.
Yes.
You can correct me.
There may be more coming.
Dale Devine, you let me know. How many are there? And they're all nice, and
Very
they're separated.
nice. Very nice.
Your little dogs and your big dogs.
Right.
And oh, look, you're getting an Amazon delivery.
Yahoo!
She loves that.
I do love it when they pull up front.
Yeah. That's another question. It's not on today's questions. Do they deliver here? Yep. They're going to bring it right to our door.
Awesome.
They don't ring the doorbell, though. They just put the package down, take a picture of it, and hit the road.
Yeah.
But we do get it.
Right.
But dog parks, yes.
I wish they'd have more covered areas for the dog owners. so that we can sit under some shade. There may be some that are coming like that.
It's so fun because you're going to see a French Bulldog or a Beagle or a Labradoodle.
Or another Dachshund.
Or a Whippet or a Great Dane. Who knows what's going to be over there. And I love dogs.
It's fun. It's fun.
It's a lot of fun.
Let them go and they can just run, and that's just the important part for them to get their exercise. So there's plenty of dog parks. You'll enjoy it.
There's usually some scuttlebutt on the next door about they found some dog doo there that somebody didn't pick up.
Oh. Oops.
So you have to be careful walking around the dog park. I mean, it's there.
Most people are very responsible, though.
Tate and Marge in Plano, Texas, right? In several of the online forums, we saw where people suggest not getting west-facing lanais. Why is that? Should that be a deal breaker? Great question.
Yeah.
I remember we bought our house sight unseen. And of course, after you buy it, you're wondering, did we do the right thing? We just paid more for a house than we thought we would ever pay in our entire life. And I'm laying home in Indiana thinking, that lanai faces west. And you read all the stories about how hot that gets. They're not lying. Those west-facing lanais get hot.
Yeah.
But there are ways to combat that. And we're going to actually do a show on lanais. I would not let having a west-face lanai deter you from buying.
Yeah.
But I would also encourage anybody that can actually come to look at their home several times. Look at it in the morning, come back in the afternoon, come back at night, listen for the highway, see if there's any trains coming nearby, and feel what it looks like on the hottest time of day if you can.
Yeah.
We got lucky. We were so lucky. I tend to be lucky, and this is an ideal. We couldn't ask for a better location for a house. We love it.
We do love it.
And that's no problem at all. But we're going to do a show because we need to do something to eliminate that radiant heat coming through those glassed-in lanai windows when we leave a little Gizzy out there when we go somewhere.
Yeah. Our next question is from Larry and Mary. What clubs do you belong to?
I'm in the woodworking club. That's the only club I'm in.
I'm not in a club.
Am I in another club? Oh, ukulele.
Your ukulele.
We play the ukulele.
Fishing.
I'm going to show you all my new ukulele. You want to see it? I got to show them my new ukulele.
Okay.
Go ahead and talk.
So clubs. There are a lot of clubs that I would have liked to have joined. I don't have time right now. We do a lot with the blog. We're gone a lot. We're doing a lot of adventures, a lot of interviewing. And so I really don't have a lot of time for that. But I wanted to do genealogy club. I would have loved to have done that. I'm not sure what other club I did. You would have liked to have done some more artwork.
I want to do some art, some sculpting, some whittling, some all that.
Yeah.
Here's my new ukulele.
Oh, yeah. This came this week.
I love it. Look at this thing. Look at it.
Yeah. Thanks, Wally.
Wally Sagita had one similar, and I couldn't let Wally outdo me, so I got this. I can't play it. Look, it's even got a built-in tuner and a jack for an amplifier.
Is that a tuner, or is that just for a battery, or what is that for?
No, it's a tuner. You can get your.
Oh.
You don't need an extra.
It's fancy dancing.
But look at that. It's a little Stratocaster, huh? Pretty nice. I love it.
You know what?
Someday, if I do learn to play it, I'll play it for you.
He does a great job. At night, I go to bed sometimes earlier than Jerry does. He's a night owl. And he'll start playing his ukulele out here in the living room. And it puts me to sleep. I can hear it's wonderful. He does a great job.
Should we have our home power washed? If so, how often and how much does it cost? Good question. In Florida, power washing is a regular part of the maintenance of your home.
Yes.
Because of these little bugs. I don't ever see the bugs, but you see little black dots on the side of your house, and they need to be washed off. Some people have their home washed every 6 months. Some people wait a year. But we caution you against a high power wash.
Right.
They call it a pressure wash, but it's a low pressure wash. You don't want to blast that paint off your home.
No.
So you'll get it washed. How much does it cost? We were paying $65. I called recently because our guy retired and the new guy was $85. So I'm still looking for a new power washer.
We have a power washer, but we just don't want to do that.
Well, they mix up some soap and they'll put it on and then they'll wash it off and.
And they do a good job, and it's nice because they also do the windows, which is lovely.
Well, and also your stonework will get a darker look to it. It's almost like a moldy look as time goes on. And so you'll want to wash that off probably once a year.
Yeah. This next question's from Alice. My yard has some brown spots. Somebody said it might be mole crickets. Is there anything else that might leave small brown spots all over your yard?
I don't know. Is there, Gizzy? Is there anything that might leave a brown spot in somebody's yard? Is it you?
He left a couple brown spots today. Well, you know what? We actually saw a mole cricket this week crawling across the driveway.
It's a big, grotesque-looking creature. It's about this big.
It's about the size of my finger.
Yeah.
My little finger.
Yeah. And we don't know what's causing your brown spots. It can be grubs. It could be a lack of water. It could be insect. Who knows what it is.
Yes.
Could be animal. But if it's all over your yard, this is what kills me about these people that put the little doggy statues in the yard that say, no, keep away. Because they've got brown spots in their yard. Those brown spots are way up by their house, and everywhere. Those dogs didn't cause those.
Yeah.
This guy, we can show you every place he goes. We know. That grass is green as can be, isn't it, buddy?
Grass is greener.
And look at all the fire hydrants here. All the grass is green.
But
it wasn't him.
You will need to have have somebody check your yard, though, if you're very concerned about it and get some more brown spots. But we have a service that will come check for your yard, actually the lawn, the grass, and then also the pest control will come and check for what kind of pest you might end up having.
We have a one-stop shop for that. It's Superior Lawn Services here in the Villages. We pay them about $50 a month, and they will put insecticide down. They'll even come in your home.
Yes.
And you can call back if she finds some ants, which hasn't happened for a long time.
Knock on wood.
They'll come back and they'll put some sweet juice.
They do. They put them behind your outlets, your plugs in the walls, every single one in your whole house. And they told me it wasn't harmful to us or just the ants, because it's kind of something that they will eat and it will kill them, but it won't be harmful to us.
So we get Superior for the insecticides. We get them for weed killing and herbicides, for fertilizer. They do all of our stuff like that. And we also had the home termite treated. So those are all things that they can do. And that will help your brown spots.
Yeah.
Here's our last question. That went fast today, didn't it?
Yeah, we were on the ball.
You slept right through it, partner.
You know what? We have him closer. I think he feels like he's right in there with us now and instead of way behind us. He likes it.
This takes a lot of thought, and we want to hear your thoughts on this too. So if you have one, if you could only have one more meal, what would you order? How's that for a good question, said Mike. That was a poser, Mike. I had to think about that. I've got to, you know me, you know what I like. You all know.
Don't say Spam.
No. Spam is a last resort, but I don't mind it with some onions. I like Spam.
Yeah.
But I think if I was choosing a last meal, if it was perfectly cooked, I would like prime rib.
I was going to say that for me too. I'll change mine.
With a baked potato. On my baked potato, I like a seasoned salt and butter. That's it for me. Oh, I'd take some bacon if you want to put some bacon on it.
I have to have sour cream.
But then I was thinking, what other side would I want? And I like carrots, cooked carrots. If there's a little brown sugar on.
Candy with brown sugar.
But I decided on cream peas. So that's what I would like.
I thought about this question. My first instinct was the complete Thanksgiving meal. I like turkey dressing and the cranberries sauce, and that's delicious for me. I look forward to that once a year, and then
a lot of good stuff in that meal.
Yeah. So, but I do love prime rib. I am a prime rib lover. And I thought you would have said fried chicken.
Well, you know what? Like I said, what do I want? Do I want her meatloaf? How about one of those giant Indiana pork tenderloins? Or a country fried steak, if it's done perfectly. Oh my gosh! Or Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I love pepper steak on top of rice.
If I was in prison though, and I had the one
Okay,
meal,
yes.
I would probably just tell them to bring me a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken, extra
Would you?
crispy,
Would you?
with all the sides. Yeah,
Yeah.
because nobody's gonna cook you a good prime rib in prison.
Why are you talking about prison?
Well, that's when you get your last meal.
I thought you meant your last meal after you were going to die. Like tomorrow you're
Well,
dead.
if you're gonna die, you probably wouldn't even have an appetite. You probably couldn't even eat. But I mean, if you're
Your last meal would be your last meal.
y'all get it.
Oh, well. What would be your last meal?
Are you ready, pal?
I don't know. He's taking a nap. Like he's taking a nap
Come
today.
here. Come see me.
He says, I'm just tired.
Yes. Are you ready for your segment?
Yep.
All right. Take it away.
I remember when I was just a pup, and I'd go out in the backyard, and Dad had these great big old car tires, and I could even get in them and play. I love to think about that. Those were the good years. Good years. Get it? Did you ever hear about the 2 slices of bread that got married? The ceremony was going great until somebody decided to toast the bride and groom. Thanks, everybody. Send those jokes in, and I'll see you next week.
Good job. That's a good job, as usual.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. That's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
Be sure to tune in for Thursday's show. Remember, we've got those 2 couples. They're fun-loving, they're energetic, they're enthusiastic, and I think you're going to get a kick out of that show.
If you liked our video today, please press that like and subscribe button and share it with all your friends. Until next time.
See you when you get here.